Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. Track 1, Like the Rest of Us. Well, this is produced by Ant, as is everything on here. You know, that's the duo, Slug and Ant. Ant and Slug, Atmosphere. Gonna start out with, you know what? I feel like, what's your rating? You should go first.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you. You know, I don't do that enough. I'm always throwing up my rating first. Let's get some Moulz action in here, okay? Pull your ding-a-ling out, slap it on the table. Let them see what's going on, all right?
Want me to slap my ding-a-ling on the table?
Sure, yeah.
All right, you asked for it. 7+. Ding me, baby.
Well, listen, that was my rating earlier in the week, but I'm happy to say 8-.
Wow.
It went up. I like it a lot. You almost like it a lot. Strong 7. You like it. Bordering on liking it a lot. Here's the thing, man. This is actually my favorite record on the album. So, a bit of spoiler style. It's obviously not to say that there aren't any other 8s or there aren't any other records I like, but this is my favorite record on the album. I was worried at first, though, when I first heard this. Keep in mind, this is the first time I've heard this album this week. Or this week was the first time I heard this album. So this comes on. I just want to read you my notes from the first day. I said, get that music box music out of here when it comes on.
No, more on the music box later, huh?
Right. You get it later, and it's appropriate later, but we'll get there. But then when the beat fleshes itself out, comes more into focus, you know, it starts, I'm like, okay, get more of these atmospheric, pun intended, keys in here. Give me more of this reverb electric guitar that comes in later. Get that in here, and get me more of this bass line that sounds like ODing on NyQuil. Get that in here.
I have a note here, Mel, on the production, actually. In the time leading up to Lemons, the band had begun sampling live instruments instead of using music from other artists, and started performing as a band with members playing instruments live alongside Ant's DJing and backing tracks. With Slug reportedly saying, I'm not really a huge fan of live instrument albums with rap, but I am a huge fan of not getting sued anymore. However, I'll say this. I'd say there's 3 styles of beats on this album, primarily.
Okay.
Live band style beats, like this one. Sample-based beats, or at least they sound sample-based, and then synth beats.
Right.
This is a live band beat, but the band's not in full swing yet. I like how this is the intro, and it's very low-key to start, and it builds with the next song. Then the sequencing kind of takes a turn that we'll talk about when we get to the point in the album where I'm a little miffed by some of the sequencing choices. But to open with this song and to go into the next song, and the next song kind of continues the momentum of this song and then brings it up, the energy up a little bit more. The band comes alive, and you got to think about, like, so I saw them as a touring outfit with a band for this album, and he opened the show with this song and then went into Puppets.
Okay.
And to see it live really almost sells what they were trying to do on the album with it. Like,
got it.
It's very organic sounding, and it breathes like life into itself over time. So you get this intro where it's sort of it's like a scenery setting for what we're about to get on this album. It's, you know, this town of people that we're going to talk about on this album, and it's very quiet sounding, right?
Yes, and I want to say that is a large contributor to why I like this record. Very quiet sounding.
It feels like early in the morning before everybody's awake. And
see, to me, actually, this feels like I'm winding down. This is like the end of the day. You know, I added this to my lullaby playlist, and that's not an insult, okay? Because I've talked about this playlist before. Who else is on there? Homeboy, Sandman, Opium.
Great record.
I just noticed that Google Docs corrected Homebody Sandman. It always does that when I type his name. And Old Dirty's back, made it on there from season 6. And now we got Like the Rest of Us. This sort of gentle beat and gentle delivery from Slug
too. Yep,
reminds me of that open mic ego of it. You know, when he gets in that sort of whispery vocal range.
Yes, I can definitely understand the comparison.
Yeah, so I like that about it. I feel like I'm winding down the day, like I'm drifting off to sleep. You know, but I understand also waking up too. It has that sort of.
This album almost feels like it starts early crack of dawn, like 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends like at the, like late at night.
I see. Okay, I'll add
and it does feel like a day. It feels like, to me, it's a Robert Altman movie where these all like different characters, like Nashville or Shortcuts, where you're dealing with all these different characters in one central location.
You know, you said, like, I guess this is I never actually made the connection that this was potentially a town. Now that you said it, it makes sense. I mean, it just felt like a bunch of different stories from all over the country or something. Like,
right.
You know, like, but they could totally be in the same town. You know,
I've always taken it to be in like a universe to some extent, whether it's Minneapolis or just a made up town where all these different stories are taking place. And I would say intertwining or not necessarily intertwining, depends how deep you want to go.
Right. I'm sure like Atmosphere super fans are probably like posted up on message boards or like Reddit or something.
I have a theory about a song, which we'll get to. It's at the very end of the album, so we got a ways to go. But
okay.
You
know what? Now that you said that, I think I know what your theory might be.
Okay.
I don't want to say it out.
So the thing is,
let me write
in the
down
EPs leading up to this album, there was Sad Clown, it was Bad Spring, Bad Fall, Bad Summer, Bad Winter. It was like each one for a season, spring being the last of them. And we're going to play some stuff from those in this review. But there's like even people on those songs that feel like they're somewhat part of this universe as well.
Got it. You know, at its best, I appreciate the world building. At its worst, it's on that, that crash,
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll certainly get to that. I wonder if we're in agreement on what those moments are. That'll be interesting.
We'll see. We'll definitely see. But I'll tell you what's interesting. I say this first verse is perfect verse alert. Okay? That's what I think. When I hear this, I've been here for 30-some years looking at myself in the same dirty mirror, so it ain't like I don't comprehend. Then he goes on to list, vices and drug addictions and bad actions. He gets it, Yeah. And I'm approaching 30. Why the nights, days, I feel like I'm looking at the same dirty mirror. I get it. Okay,
I was going to say, and I think we'll talk about it more when we get to track 10, Guarantees, is that some stuff on this album has actually gotten better to me, because in my washed state at like 34 years old, I relate to the songs more than I did in 2008 when I was still like, I wanted to hear that Young Money shit in 2008.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I was on,
You was on that young nigga shit, as my people would say. I get it.
Not to say I wasn't listening to this also, but I wasn't living this,
Right. Exactly.
I had a different level of appreciation then than I do now, where some of these lyrics like hit home harder than they did before.
Right. And I'm aligned. I would have always liked, looking at myself in the same dirty mirror, because what can I say? I have a slanted perspective of the world, slanted due to that depression, perhaps. But now that I'm actually nearing 30, there's an added element here for me. And you want to talk about words to live by. Okay. You got to let people be hypocrites count your blessings and mind your business. Okay, that's just great advice.
No, the chorus. Stuck with yourself like the rest of us.
Sing it.
Dirt gets done and then we back to dust.
Back to dust.
Running in place, sun in my face. Let me fly away. Heaven won't wait.
Woo-hoo.
That's stuck with yourself like the rest of us. Oh my God, that's great writing.
Humanity, bro. That's that
Money
human
chorus.
condition.
Money chorus.
Yes, I agree.
And again, I think this song does a really good job of setting up the in-album universe.
Mm-hmm.
Also setting the tone musically, because we're building up from like a low-key affair to something more up-tempo, boisterous, dark, whatever. Wherever this goes, we're starting very simply, and I like that about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. This
Beautiful
is good.
Piano on here too.
Oh yeah, this is, like I said, this is my favorite song on the album. This is probably my favorite beat on the album too. You know, everything here is working for me. I was worried at first with that music box. I'm like, what in the lullaby, Aesop's fables is going on here? But it gets itself together real quick. This just trying to keep my mind on work. It's like that's the only way to love this life on earth. I kind of teared up a bit in the car because lately, and I've talked about this on the show, Rab is all I have to live for. Y'all heard how hysterical I was at the start of the season, walking through the snow, getting this laptop fixed so I can get back to the only thing that matters to me. Hearing that was like, oh my God, like I got emotional. And right after that, it's like everyone takes number one in the race because we all keep running in place. Come on, that's... CL Smooth wasn't talking that talk, all right? He wasn't doing that. Granted, that's not his, lane, sure. But come on, man. It's something about being moved by an MC. It's going to score more points and talk about Carmel City and being sexified. I'm just saying. It's a matchup after all right? It's a conversation happening.
Yes.
Someone's going to advance. I'll say this. Okay?
You can't be listening right now and be like, why are you comparing CL Smooth to Slug? It doesn't make any sense. What's the comparison?
Have to. It's the theme.
We're having a freaking tournament right now, you buffoons.
Did you say coons?
No, I call them buffoons.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, the show's over. 8 seasons. They had a good run. Then Moulz started talking about coons. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, it's the theme, all right? So, like, someone's going to advance here, and someone's going to get left behind. But we're only one track in. But before we move, I got something I got to say, okay? He said, and this is the first of many times he's going to do this throughout the album. He's either speaking on a female character or speaking from the perspective of a female character. Mm-hmm. And later on, we'll explain what all that encompasses. But right now, it's she ended up on the pole with her heels pointing at her Jesus she used to know. Stripped her down to her naked body. We made her drown in a lake full of patriarchy. To which I wrote, we did? We? We. But no, yeah, seriously, we do live in a patriarchy. But here's my question. I want to know if she feels that way, though. Because we got to consider agency and all, right? As they say, like, how much of her doing this is us, the patriarchy, and how much of that is her? Not to get too deep, but I have to grapple with this because he said it. It's like, would she have wanted to do that, assuming she wants to do it without the patriarchy's influence? I don't know. But it's just, statements like this are weighty. They have to be grappled with, Yeah, sure. We live in a patriarchy. But my question is, like, maybe she wants to do this.
You don't want to just let shit like that fly by or sweep it under the rug or anything.
You got to address it. He said we made her drown. I'm like, I ain't trying to make nobody drown. If I did, my bad. But I feel like we only made her drown if this isn't something she wanted to do. I mean, and we have to consider the fact that some people want to do things like this.
This is true. And keep in mind, this is, the Minnesota underground rap scene. It could get a little preachy sometimes.
Well, hey, I guess Moulz Mel are in the pulpit, deciphering the scriptures.
I didn't know pulpit. No.
The pews. That's what I was on. The pews.
No, I'm not there either. I'm not there either.
God was fool. This Roman Reigns would say.
Faithless fool.
Faithless fool. There we go.
Listen, I'll combust if I walk into one of them.
Oh no, I can't be doing no show with no demon. Okay.
Oh man, anti-Semitism already. Right after the ADL.
No, stop it.
After the ADL were notified last week of your actions.
What was my actions last week?
Just blatant anti-Semitism.
In what regard?
I don't know. It was a long show. We're extreme podcasters. You'll have to go back and remember.
Oh, bro. Okay. All right. I've got nothing else to say here. All right. Like the rest of us, I like it a lot. I like being lulled into a peaceful state, while also grappling with the weight of living on Earth and being worn down. Okay, I am emo Mel, therefore I connect to things like this. All right, things are locking into place here. It's like,
this is emo Mel. I'd be interested to see by the end of this review if, you know, how far being emo goes in your.
I'm glad you said that, because
appreciation of this music.
Yeah. I mean, this is pretty emo music. You know,
it goes to places. It goes to places. It does. We'll talk about it. Everything.
Absolutely. So, yeah. You got anything else? Yeah.
Nah.
All right. I guess we can move on then. Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform.